What's up, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to get monster credit limits on all of your revolving business accounts, or even personal accounts for that matter. Alright, so here we go. After this video is done, I'm going to send you a link that's going to give you a free checklist that covers all this information, and you could literally check off items and we'll make it super easy for you. Typically we only provide this to our clients, but since you're here and you're watching me, we're going to give it to everyone. Alright, and I'm going to be going back and forth between the screencast and the camera, so don't get weirded out if I'm not looking at the camera. Alright, and before we dive into this, I want to talk about the mindset of a credit limit increase. You want to think of your lender as an investor in your company, okay? So if you watch Shark Tank, and if you don't, you definitely should, you want to observe the stories that come up that say, if we don't get an investment from the sharks, our business could go belly up. Most of the times, they're not going to get it unless the shark is looking for some sympathy PR. And they want to be nice and they want to show the world they're nice. It's the only way they're going to invest in it. Or if the person has abnormally awesome character, that'll get them an investment. So just keep that in mind. Your chances of success will be low if you go at it from a desperation perspective. You want to go at it from success, prosperity, and progress perspective. All right, so those businesses on Shark Tank that go in and say, well, I've got $1 million in revenues, I got these purchase orders that I can't fulfill, products are flying off the shelves, we're hiring like crazy, I need the money for manufacturing so we could manufacture more product and have it on the shelves so we could grow to $2 million in business. Those are the people that are going to get the investment. Same thing goes for any kind of a credit limit increase. So let's dive in to the nuts and bolts. I'm going to walk you through an example of a business credit card that we get approved for in January for $10,000, and I'll walk you through exactly what you should do on what dates. All right, so here we go. January, you get approved for the card. You want to use it on a regular basis. Now, this doesn't mean you go out and buy a bunch of junk that you don't need. I mean, I've seen clients do that too, and guys, please don't do that. Don't waste money in order to build business credit. You don't have to do it. You could do it organically, and that's what we're here to teach. So don't buy useless junk. Use it regularly on an as-needed basis. Pay your vendors with it. Pay any bills that you can with it. Put it on that card. Establish some debt. Establish some payment history. Now, when you make payments, you want to make more than the regular minimum payment. So pay a little bit more. If you have a 0% introductory interest rate, don't worry about it. You could make the minimum payment. You want to do this for 3 cycles. So now that puts you into March or April. You still have $10,000. Let's say you charge it up to $6,000 to $7,000 at its peak. That's what you want to do. Maybe $8,000, $9,000 if you have enough revenues in your business. Then what you want to do after that is you want to pay it down under 20%, so $2,000 or less in balance. Okay, now come May, you want to call that lender back and ask for an increase. But before you do, what you want to do is you want to refresh your credit check total, or you want to refresh any Experian, Equifax, whatever you use, True Credit, whatever you use for credit monitoring. You want to refresh that report. Don't get a hard inquiry. Use your credit monitoring service. Some banks or credit cards offer free credit reports once a month. Utilize that to your advantage. All right. So pull your credit. Make sure your credit card balances are all below 20%. Your personal credit card balances. If they are in actuality, but that amount isn't reflecting on your personal credit report, wait. Don't ask for a credit limit increase on that business credit card just yet. Wait until your credit reports, all 3 bureaus, show up under 20% utilization. You shouldn't have any credit cards that are over 20% utilization on the personal side reporting to your personal credit. The card that you're requesting a limit increase on should also be under 20% utilization. Okay, so that means it should be under 20% utilization right now, as well as one statement prior. Okay, so what you've done is this essentially. You've taken a $10,000 card that you received in January, you've taken it up, charged it to between $6,000 and $8,000, and you brought the balance back down under $2,000 in March or April. Now it's May, and you've let it rest for at least 30 days. So next step is to call up the creditor. Call the number on the back of the card. There's certain lenders that will let you speak to an analyst right away, which is the decision maker. Other banks will just take your request and forward it on. So depending on which one it is, I'm going to go into the type of bank that will let you speak directly to the decision maker. A lot of them allow you to do that. So you call up the lender, have your current revenues and profits with you. They're going to ask for that, and they're going to test you kind of like they do on Shark Tank to see if you know your numbers. And especially if it's a decision maker, you're going to want to be prepared and be solid and be confident in your responses. You don't want to fumble around. You don't want to think about it if it's not necessary. Have it ready. If you were a client and you submitted a full application, have that full application in front of you actually. That has all the information you need. Study it. Go over it 2 or 3 times before you make the call. That'll help you out tremendously. If you're not a client yet, you will be, and you'll get the full application later on. So revenues and profits. The other question that the analyst is going to ask you, very important, is what are you going to do with the money? So they're going to ask you why you need the funds. You don't want to tell them that, I need this money because if I don't get it, the business will go bankrupt. That's a no-no. That's a big red flag, and you're likely not going to get the credit limit increase. You want to show growth, prosperity, and success, okay? And obviously you don't want to lie to the bank. If you don't need the money, don't ask for a credit limit increase. If you can't afford the money, never ask for a credit limit increase. You're only going to get in financial trouble later on. So this is only if you're growing and you have a good use to allocate the funds for. All right? So they'll ask you why, and you answer it, no problem. And typically, if everything checks out and you do what this checklist is telling you to do, you're going to get your credit limit increase. A lot of times, we've seen clients that get double, sometimes even triple the amount. So be aggressive with what you're requesting. Worst case scenario is they'll say no, but a lot of times the bank will come back with a counter. Let's say you have this $10,000 card from ABC Bank. You opened it in January. It's May. You request $30,000 and be extremely liberal with it. Worst case scenario, if they still want to approve you, they'll come back and say, well, we can't do $30,000 at this time. How about $20,000? Okay. All right. So take the $20,000. It's a base hit. It's not a home run. Over time, you're going to build it up, and what you want to do is continue repeating this process every 5 to 6 months. Charge it up, pay it back down, let it rest for 30 days, and call back. Now, one thing that I am going to warn you about is you're going to incur a hard inquiry on your credit report, so just be prepared. There are some lenders, they're few and far between. I would say you have maybe a 5% chance of getting one of these lenders that will increase your credit limit just based on your payment history and how you've charged the card up and how you've used it. So keep that in mind. Hard inquiry. If you're going to go out and look for additional credit, it's not a good idea to request a credit limit increase just yet. You want to get that new account approved and then request a credit limit increase. It's a lot easier, I would say 5 times easier to request a credit limit increase and successfully get it approved than it is to open a new account. So keep that in mind. All right, so there's a link down below that will take you to this free checklist. You can download it, there's no charge for it. It'll take you to our website. And if you do everything on this checklist, you are almost guaranteed to get this credit limit increase. There's no way. I mean, unless you miss payments or something new popped up, a collection account or something that popped up on your business or personal credit report. That's the only way you're gonna miss. So go ahead and download that checklist. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share this video with friends on Facebook. Like our Facebook page, and also drop me a comment below and let me know what you think. All right, good, bad, indifferent. I don't care. Just drop me a comment. All right. I will see you next time.